Hey everybody, you're tuned into the SNL AfterBuzz After Show. Tune in as we talk about the finale hosted by Fred Armisen, musical guest Courtney Barnett.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
She said she wanted to fuck her harder than the military.
Yeah. Fuck Bin Laden. Fuck Bin Laden.
She wanted to fuck me harder than the U.S. government.
Fuck Bin Laden. Guys, we're back. We're back for the finale. SNL. Lonely Island coming out with a new movie. Super stoked about it. We're not supposed to talk about it. She's stoked.
She's super soaked about it, as if she's about
You know what
to
I'm
slip
talking
off
about.
her chair.
Soaked. Yeah. Connor for real. Connor for real. Just get. Yeah. Fred Armisen host. Lots of appearances by old cast members. Courtney Barnett, musical guest. Pretty cool stuff. But before we get into that, hey guys, where can we find you?
You can find me on the internet on all things at Kim Crossman.
Hi, I'm Katie Wilbert, and you can find me at all things social media at Katie Wilbert.
Hi, I'm Amy Maestri, and you can find me on the internet at Amy Maestri.
And I'm Kelly McInerney, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at HollyWeirdo or Snapchat, Kelly McInerney, but with 3 L's.
Ooh, saucy.
Yeah. The regular one was taken. I just want to watch this video now.
Yeah. Well, that,
Okay.
just gonna watch it again.
I know, just look, it was great. But it was pretty good episode, guys. What do you think? What do you guys think overall?
I think the words that I said was thank you, SNL, because I feel like this episode took us out of that dark hole that we kept falling in, and I'm like, get out of the hole! And I feel like yesterday was a great way to end the season. There are a lot more highs than lows, which I don't think have been true for the past 5 episodes. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this.
I 100% concur on all the things that Kimberly has said. I had a similar feeling of like relief and excitability. I found the episode purely delightful, and I'm really excited to talk about it.
I hated it. We were just talking about how we always tend to agree on so much, but I 100% agree as well. I thought, yeah, it had its moments where I was kind of like, a little bit of a lull, but overall, especially kind of over the past few weeks, comparatively speaking, I thought this was a great episode, and they brought a lot of fun energy to it, and it was a good time.
Yeah, agreed. It was a finale, you know?
It was a
good
finale.
finale.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. The cold opening with Bernie and Hillary at a bar. I think this was one of the better cold openings of the season because it wasn't a boring, this is what happened in the news political sketch. It was just like, here's the characters. We're going to do something weird.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nope.
We're
so polite.
No, you go. No, I go. Okay, fine. Yeah, I think something that we've all said and keep echoing is that, yeah, we don't want them to just be like, this happened, and you're right. They mixed it up this week. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I'm glad Trump wasn't in it because I just feel like I'm over him in all aspects.
Yeah.
And I thought what a great way to start the show, taking that dance through the set and having all the characters in it. I thought that was a really nice way to end it and really set the tone. And I think some of what I've been talking about is if they have a shitty cold open, and then a shitty monologue, you're like, okay, try and win me back. But this, yeah, really started it great for me.
Yeah, it opened on a really positive note, and I think that's the difference too, that while they were saying like fun cutting remarks to each other, it was all playful, and you liked them and they liked each other in a way. And I think it was nice that they took more of a relationship standpoint, and I feel like that's why it was enjoyable, and the setting of the bar was perfect for them to kind of shoot the shit and make it more about like a relationship than my impersonation is so good, watch me act.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that aspect of it, and yeah, I agree. I love the dance through the studio, and yeah, the Swan Lake fog and all the cast members. Words are hard. Members being there. It was great. It was really delightful.
Yeah, I
That's
think
my word
it
of the
looked
night.
great too. Like just with the camera, like all everything about it, I loved. And whenever they go backstage, it's so good. But I love the banter was my favorite thing. Is because, again, they made it relationship based, it's character based, and just getting to see them do the banter instead of trying to make it political. Like, you don't really have to make it you did within itself. Like, the line, we were watching it together, they both just stared at me because the line when they're like, whose tab should we put it on? And Hillary raises her hand and Bernie's like, hers. I died at that because that's still political. It's still talking about it, but it's not being like just hitting the nail on the head like really hard and just like having something in there. So I thought this was a really, really strong political cold opening.
Ditto. And the dancing, great. Great stuff. Started with a bang. And with everybody, all the cast members. Ended with all the cast members.
I love that, too.
Yeah, that's-
I like that.
Yeah. Monologue, very Fred Armisen-y. You know, he's very little, you know, quirky kind of guy.
Do you like him?
Yeah, sometimes. Well, no, for the most part.
Are you progressively high?
I heard he's not a nice guy. That's why I don't like that.
Bummer.
But as a performer,
Yeah.
purely, you like him.
Yeah. Mhm. How about you guys?
I thought this was freaking awesome. Like, when it ended, the thing I said after this was like, isn't it nice to watch someone command a stage? And that is a problem I've had with some of the monologues recently, is that they're just like a celebrity coming out and being like, hi guys, I was in this movie, here's something awkward and I'm not confident about saying, and here's our show. And it's like, it's still like a big part of the show and needs to be committed hard and like presented as if it were a sketch. Like, I just think that the monologue should be stronger always because it is the top of the show. And I loved this so much, and I felt like what he's so good at, which he did in several other sketches throughout the night, is he's so good at sharp turns. Like him doing the one-man show, going from narrator voice to suddenly being in character, like it was seamless. And I was so engaged I couldn't stop watching him. It was like actually captivating for me. And I just thought, like, wow, what a way to freaking open a show, because now I trust him in everything that he's going to do as an actor from this point forward. And if he makes a mistake, I'm going to be like, I don't care. This guy knows what he's doing. This was amazing.
Yeah.
Because I love that.
Sorry.
Oh, no, go.
To add on to what Katie said, so we had to do a scene in acting class the other day where Katie played Kevin Hart's character from Get Hard, where he has to do a similar thing of changing characters in an instant, and it's like a monologue. So I wrote down like that I was even more impressed by what Fred did, because we had to do that last week, and it's so
challenging.
hard. And he just did it seamlessly. So yeah, I was equally impressed about that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think to go along with the like fast turns too, he also knew when to let things breathe. Like the space that he gave at the end and those moments of silence
For the
were
lighting and
so
stuff?
good. Yeah, like with the lighting, and just at the end when he even calls out and he's like, critics said that this part dragged on too long, and then he would have these moments in between where he just let it breathe for just enough time and then come back into it. So I think his blocking and like his like over dramatic blocking of it too, like was so
I
good.
haven't seen a monologue like that before.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
if it's
I
just.
know.
So good.
It's
Okay,
really
cool.
refreshing.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
see like nobody trying to
take.
sing or trying to like be somebody else. I don't know. Like
Just like
it's
really good performing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing, and I wonder if he like just suggested to do, or if he wrote it or something, because since he's a cast member, he's probably.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did. I mean, they let Sarah Silverman and some of the stand-ups come on
And do
with
their
like a full
sets,
set,
yeah.
so I kind
Yeah.
of figured it would have been a similar thing because he'd had everything, it felt like, memorized to be able to do that so quickly.
And you're right, it did kind of set the tone for the show because it showed what he does best, like
Right.
voices and physical comedy. It's great. The Lewis and Clark sketch, I was not a fan of. Not great, in my opinion. But did you guys like it?
I love the way you asked that, Kelly.
I mean, I love it when people are taking the piss out of actors. So as soon as they come in and they're doing like their actor speak, like, but please don't touch us. Like, I don't know. For me, I think I have like this added joy because I am an actor. We all are, and we're just stupid. So I think I like the premise from the get-go of just the fact that they're these like taking this so seriously. I liked Kyle's reading of the cue cards and seeing him break a little bit. So yeah, I actually enjoyed this. I thought it was funny.
I liked it too. I liked his name, Donnie Grande. Like
That's
their
what I
stage
like.
names were
Yeah.
really funny. I liked their overdramatic walking to that like airy Native American sounding music, or like meant to sound like Native American soundscapes or something. Yeah, and I liked that there was literally a portion of the sketch where they were saying yes, and as an improviser, I was very much tickled. Yeah, and I think there was a lot of fun physical comedy in this, and I enjoyed seeing people break watching Fred mount Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was interesting that the teacher's choice wasn't to be like, no. I liked, because I was expecting when she came in, like, that was a nice go against kind of moment for me.
I think that's what I didn't like. I felt like it was too fake. You know, like, I get sometimes you gotta be like weird is supposed to be accepted as the reality, but I thought it was just too like, come on, this is such a cheap joke. Gay set, you know, blah blah. I don't know.
But so I liked when John actually called it out, and he was just like, "Wait, is this like part of their thing, or is this like really happening right now? Because we're kind of doing the same thing, like." Just kind of giving it a second, So I like that they kind of called that in, and Cecily cracked me up in this with the with the way that she was talking.
Voice.
Uphill there. It was like,
so intense. It almost had a deaf quality to it.
Yeah, like she was, and then like the dancing and everything. I think she cracked me up in it too, which I think is nice because she obviously wasn't the focal point of it. But that's one of those moments where you're just like, God, she's so good, you know? Because like that's not what it's about. It's not about her. She's not gonna like. But she made me laugh so much in it.
I wrote down her line, "Look, my eyes while he on you."
Then the return of an SNL digital short.
Hey.
Connor for real, finest girl, based on because Pop Star's coming out.
Yep.
Based on that character that they're gonna be like the story of. I don't know why Andy Samberg didn't host, because he has something to promote. There it is. So good. I'm so excited for this movie. Words cannot describe. It was one of my favorite sketches. There was two really good ones. Always the digital things are always the best.
Yeah.
But it was just never gets old. Do you know?
Yeah.
It just never gets old. I could watch all these digital shorts over and over, and it's awesome. Excited for the movie. Excited for the soundtrack. I don't know what else.
I love how excited you are.
So good.
I know. We're
on
excited
board.
too.
I think they're executed so well. I love the dance. Like, I keep saying the dances are so funny. I can't fault this. I thought it was funny. The picnic was great.
I love that Fred,
Even this I don't understand.
But love it.
Yeah. I think
so
with so many of their songs too, like you have to listen to them like 10 times because like there's so many gems in there that you miss, and even like just listening to it like twice, like there's always something that you pick up the second time around. And also, I really would just love to have heard like whoever came up with the idea within the group to like pitch it to the others, like, all right, here's what this song's about. And the hook is "fuck Bin Laden."
Yes.
I just listened to him on Pete Holmes's podcast, You Made It Weird. Andy Samberg was on it, and they talked about some of the digital shorts, how like Jack Sparrow was just for them, like they thought it was gonna be silly, and like people loved it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's when it's the best, right? When you and your friends are so tickled by an idea and you're like, this isn't for anyone else. This is because we think this is so funny. But if you think it's funny and you're excited about it, then surely the idea is going to reach some people.
Yeah.
If you're just writing it for the sake of trying to impress or make other people laugh, that's probably when it's not going to be very funny.
Yeah.
And when it feels like someone's reaching or like doing a ton of dick jokes and you're like, yeah, we get it, penises.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it. Penises.
I'm gonna get that screen grab.
Yeah.
Just for Facebook and make my father very uncomfortable.
Yes.
Man, but it was so good. It's just like they're always stupid but clever, you know?
Yeah.
It's silly, but it's genius.
And
at
they
the same
take
time.
like a perfect point of view that's very unique, and then they just push it and go and don't question it, and it's awesome.
And it's catchy as hell.
Yeah.
Always catchy as
Yeah.
hell.
Terrorize that pussy.
So good.
Which also Vanessa was great in this.
She
She was so good in this.
So it's just I just want to watch it again, but we have to talk about the other stuff now.
Sadly, we have to talk about other sketches.
No, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. The next sketch, Regine, just basically a character sketch, kind of, about how hilarious Fred Armisen is physically. Jason Sudeikis was on it. It was great to see him again. Still pretty cool, still pretty funny. Just it's always funny to see him just lose it, you know?
He's so good at it.
yeah.
The commitment from him in this is just, and you could see too throughout the sketch, like he's like, I am fucking owning this right now.
Everybody broke.
Yes.
They're trying so hard. God bless them. They were trying so hard to not do it, and they just had to. Which, I mean, who can blame them?
That it was amazing. I loved some of the specific lines though. We were dying over one of the very first lines before Regine even comes in. 80's character is talking about how, like, oh my gosh, I couldn't get into my car because I didn't have my keys. And then Kyle goes, she's lying. That happened to a friend. Anyways, and we all were like, what was this weird, hilarious line that had nothing to do with the rest of the sketch, but we were so glad that it was in it. It was so funny.
I feel like so often they try to start those sketches with, like, look, it's a basic house party with, like, a dinner party, and here's a generic line, and someone's making a terrible joke. And, like, in this, it was already funny because, like, 80 tells the story that's not funny, and they're like, that's so funny. And that's usually kind of where they would leave it, but then with Kyle coming in and saying that, I feel like they just made that kind of opening so much better.
So much better.
Yeah. It was like kind of monotone and deadpan the way he said it too. Anyways, and then we were like, what is
So good.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
I liked my little Easter egg in this scene was seeing where all the guacamole was going. I don't know why. I seemed like fixated on being like, it's on his pants. It's on his shirt. Like,
Every once in a while, they'd just be like, it's on his knee right now.
yeah, like why was I so like a magic trick? Like, oh, where's that guacamole? But yeah, I don't know why that was what I was
it was
interested in.
fun.
But
I love that he ate the chip.
Anytime someone eats, like actually eats anything live, or live, I'm like, ooh, it's so real. You can't fake eating when you chew it and swallow it. You can't fake that. It's real.
They're so method.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
The commitment you said, Amy.
Yeah.
It was so,
is there anything you would change in it? The sketch?
thinks. I don't. Maybe have more, just more jokes.
Yeah.
More of it. Just more of what you're doing. You know, you're doing great. Just give me more.
I like the blow on the air when he turned his face to him.
Yeah. I loved when she said, "We're not going anywhere. This night is going to be long."
It's just such a great character because she's like so unlikable, but also like you can't stop watching her. And she like there's many different like I'd love to see this character in a lot of different situations.
Yeah,
actually.
she's
Flatbread, what are we, in line for Legoland?
Yeah.
What are we celebrating? Averageness.
Manhattan, I love those. Never mind, you ruined it. So good.
So good. Speaking of so good,
Tell me what it is.
Farewell, Mr. Bunting.
Whoa.
Man. Why can't all the twists be this excellent? You know?
And executed so well.
Yeah.
To attend immediately.
Like talk about raising the stakes and like
A to Zing, you know?
where do you go from there?
Good. And I didn't see it coming until Pete stood up and I saw a ceiling fan, but I was like, surely not. Oh my God.
I didn't catch that. I was like, it's going
kind
to
of
turn into a
was-
song or something.
Well, yeah, like
I
he was
think
kind of getting up kind of weird too. I felt like he was kind of taking an extra second and then I did not see that part.
No. And then I love that they kept pushing the head in different places and there was just more blood and more blood. And like, I'm realizing this about myself that I like dark comedy and I thought that I was so fluffy and wackadoo and whatever, but I loved it and was like, I would love to see more of that sort of dark, twisty comedy that you are not expecting. And yeah, made me like excited for next season and hopeful that we can have more of that.
It also worries me though too because the two best sketches I think were digital. Like they're all and same thing with Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
That one.
Oh yeah, that's
like,
right.
Typically, every time they have a filmed one, it's always better than the live
Right.
thing.
It's true, and you can tell too. They've been putting more effort into them. I mean, the production value in every one is like beautiful. They all look so good. And same thing with this. It's like I don't mind when they take a while to get to where they're going in these because they look so good and so captivating that you're just like, cool, I'm in it.
I like the poem that he was reading. Poetry is for, what was it?
So funny for women and
gays,
homosexuals.
yeah.
Yeah, like it's meant to bore you. It's a punishment. Like there was so many great gems in this. But yeah, I think anytime they play something really seriously, and don't go for the gag, sometimes it's even more enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly what you're saying with the digital shorts. They're just always, they lend to that humor more, I think.
Yeah.
Because film is more subtle anyways.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm curious to see what happens with that, because you're right. If their strongest sketches seem to be digital, like, what does that mean?
What's gonna happen?
SNL pre-recorded.
Yeah.
Saturday night pre-record.
Saturday Night Digital.
Yeah.
Courtney Barnett was the musical guest. We found out who she was.
Hey.
Yes.
We did.
And you really liked her.
I think it was kind of refreshing to see
Something different.
just music.
Something
you know,
that
not just
wasn't
all
rap.
this
Yeah.
friggin' techno mumbo. No.
You
know?
Yeah.
Give me a techno. Yeah. Give me a guitar and just back to the basics, you know? And she was strumming with her fingers, which I thought was kind of impressive. I think Fred Armisen might have like suggested her because it's kind of his wheelhouse, this type,
see that.
okay.
type of raw music, because he plays music a lot.
Yeah, I could see that.
But it was refreshing. I want to look into her. Maybe download
You
some
could
of her
do that.
songs.
I think she'd be grateful.
Yeah. What do you guys think of her?
So I kind of agree with you too that it is just nice like seeing something like that. I always remember I don't know if it was like what it was, but Adele at one of those award shows where everyone was just like going nuts and lip syncing everything, and like it's just like a circus act, and then she just goes out there with a spotlight on her, and just like blows everyone away. So it's like that nice change of pace. Like, oh, cool, you have talent and can show people that.
Yeah,
nice, do that.
You don't have to do any flashy lights to show off your skills, you know.
Yeah,
though
so
it's
that's
great. Like Drake was great with the box thing, or whatever, and the rain or snow.
Yeah, I do like it when they utilize the stage more, but there is something to be said of just someone with a guitar singing and being really good at it, and the bare bones of that.
Yeah, it's good. Weekend update, pretty cool. I thought the jokes were very on point. This update. I wasn't a fan of one of the guests.
Oh, you're kidding.
As you guys know, I'm not a huge Willie fan. I was also kind of bummed because I was hoping, because Fred Armisen usually does, like, when he was a cast member, he used to do a lot of update people. So I was hoping we would see, like, for Cuscio, I think he does. He does this drum guy, and he's like, ay, Dios mío.
Yeah.
Instead of Willie, like, out of all the weekend update people.
Weird too. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, what was the secondhand news guy that
Yeah.
Fred used to do? That one would always kill me, where he would just he would always get all the news wrong.
Oh, doesn't Bobby do that too?
No, it's a similar.
He has one that's
Yeah, it's a similar gag, but this would be like Fred just like going through the paper, and he would
Oh, he's a
basically like
comedian,
say,
right?
Yeah, and he would just like say something, and then just be like, and then just kind of look again, and you're always waiting for something more, and he would always leave it there.
Yeah.
I always remember. Yeah, that was always really good. But instead, Keenan was there.
Yeah.
I like the Maya Rudolph thing. I like
Dilma was great.
Yeah, I liked her.
Yeah.
Like your tongue is mad at the rest of your mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, all of her metaphors were great. And
Ba-da-ba.
her trying to say mosquito.
Yeah.
I loved that. I could have listened to her and watched her talk and be that person for ages.
Her face.
Yeah.
She can
does
do anything with her face, and it's so fun to watch. You just never want to look away from her. And her
Yeah.
calling Colin Juicy Baby.
That's what I
Juicy
wrote down.
baby.
Probably my favorite
Wrote
thing.
it down because I'm going to call people that now.
Juicy Baby.
Human Dookies. So good. It reminded me of when she used to do Donatella Versace.
Yeah.
One of my favorite characters.
Great.
Nice to see her get, like, both her and Fred Armisen are just so good at voices and physicality.
Yeah.
So it was cool to see her on his episode. Do you guys have any favorite jokes?
Kung Fu Panda yearbook
Yes.
joke. And tumor magically malignant.
Yes.
Which was a
Lucky
play
Charm.
on Lucky Charms' Magically Delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those, which were at the end, which I think were their risk jokes.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I had those too. It was like their, I know that the Groundlings does their like taking out the trash show. It was like their little mini taking out the trash show that they got to do, which I think, those were probably some of the best from it. But again, like starting with 5 minutes on Trump. And I was like,
always. Yeah.
Yeah, I
know.
as
wrote
soon as it
very
came out, I was
tired.
just like at least like toss it into the middle. It's just like so like uniform now where you just like go into and you're like, cool, they're going to talk about Trump for 5 minutes and then we can move on.
Maybe they just want to get rid of it. You know, just like, let's get rid of that and then get into the fun
Get
stuff.
it out of the way, yeah. Because I do think, that joke, and then also when they were saying that Trump probably would really like to talk to Kim Jong-un because he would do it with a
that
thick
joke, too.
accent
That was
and
funny,
squinty
yeah.
eyes.
I really liked the clown have a safe flight.
Yeah.
What about
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Have a
Fart-
safe
yeah.
Super creepy.
So true.
The fart massage.
creepy.
I don't know what that one was, but I liked
It's like
it.
a fast food restaurant.
Yes,
in a
yeah.
In a
spa.
sauna?
And eating the same thing, the Jared.
Yes, Subway
Yes.
guy.
Yeah.
I'm all about dick jokes when they're done right. You know? It's good. Yeah. But fun stuff. Andromeda Galaxy. What did you guys think?
Hi,
of the-
Taron Killam. Where have you been?
Yeah, I thought that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think of this one?
I liked the game.
I like the idea. I think it was not executed as well as it could have been. I don't know if that was, I think we mentioned maybe technical issues or something. Like, I definitely like this idea of, like, get the milkshake, vanilla milkshake thing. Like, yeah, I definitely like the game. I just think it did fall a little flat, as if they were waiting for something else to happen.
Yeah.
It was probably my least favorite of the night, but I think I like the idea. If it had been reworked or something, and I'm not even sure specifically what I would change, just maybe lift the energy a little bit, or
Yeah, maybe it was
Yeah.
an energy thing. Because I felt like his shift from, I'm going to tell the guys,
yeah, that.
and then his focus was really great. Again, that kind of sharp turns of being able to go from one thing to really being in the
yeah.
other. That I really enjoyed, but there was something,
I think maybe the
Yeah.
commitment or something, because I feel like they didn't care that much about this scene.
yeah.
I don't know. I didn't think they were terrible people and bad. Like, they were just like, whatever, he could just die, you know?
Yeah.
And the way they said it didn't care. I don't know.
Yeah, and like the timing was off too. Like something with like the technical stuff was kind of screwing it up. But I think, and I agree that like I think it's such a fun, clear game, and those can end up being like it's nothing crazy. It's not rocket science. It's just a very fun, simple game.
That was a
See
good
what I
use
did?
for that because it
see
had
what
to do with spaceships.
see what you did.
Got
See what I
you.
did there. But I think with those, the execution has to be on point because it's very, it's nothing crazy, so it's really simple. And those can be some of the best sketches. But yeah, I think it did kind of leave me wanting a little bit more. And like you kind of knew where it was going the whole time, and you're like, oh, so that dude's gonna be the one to die.
Yeah.
And, like, but
Also, shouldn't the actors be more like upset that they're gonna die?
Yeah, that's what I feel like it was just
Yeah.
Like there's some sketches like that where you're like, oh, okay, I know we're focusing on the other person, but like we still have to be like our best actors, right? Because we're on a TV show. Mm-hmm. So while they were mildly upset, like if the whole sketch is that he gets to live and you're all dying and you actually have wives and children's, like
There is that line too. He's like, if you see my wife, tell her hey or something.
Yeah.
like be upset. Like
Super
I get it's a
convincing.
comedy show, but like it actually lends to the
Comedy
humor
if they
more
were
if the
distraught.
drama offsets it.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. If they were all like crying, whatever, and they're like, "What milkshake do you want?"
It
So I
yeah,
think it'd be
that
funny, yeah.
jump would have been so much greater, and I feel like sometimes that's what you're missing in scenes is like actually going to the depth of the situation and being like, you're gonna die, let's go there. And then you see the humor in someone being like, sorry, I just have to pick my movie, and you guys are like crying and
that's true, yeah, because there's the two ways of heightening it, whether it's through the actual script of the sketch and the beats of what's written, or yeah, something like that, just heightening it through the actual emotion through the performance. Yeah, and I think that's true. That would have
Emotion.
been the way to do it.
yeah.
gotta let it out.
Have it.
Don't be afraid
Have
of it.
some.
And have some
Care
emotion.
more.
Next up, the Student Theater Showcase. You guys love this. So
We love
talk
the
about
shit
it.
out of
What
this.
it is, but this just makes me laugh through my whole soul. Again, it's like taking the piss out of actors and stuff, and just their movements in the like dark. What's this? And it's flowers. I don't know. Wow. All of this makes me laugh. Malaria. I just had so many great moments. I can't fault this, and I obviously just lends to my humor.
I enjoyed everything about it to the point where I just watched it and didn't even write anything down because I liked everything about it. But same thing. I think I've seen so many shitty black box college theater performances.
I've been in them, like crazy performances about recycling with only plastic bag music. Like, what is
Are we
that?
making you think?
Yeah.
No, you're not making me think. Why is everyone in this production naked? It's a very small theater. Your penis is in my face. I didn't ask for this. Like, So, yeah, I relate.
That's why I like the addition in this one, too, of Vanessa just being like, I can't remember the line that led to it, but then they're just like, no, they all just got into NYU. And she's just like, because of course they would get into NYU.
Yeah.
They're going to Tisch School of Arts.
Yes.
You didn't like it? Or
don't
it's
know.
just not your funny?
It's not, and also I think they use this too much. You know, I think it's all overdone. But also, like I just said before, I will watch more digital shorts by Lonely Island, more. So
Yeah.
I don't love it, I guess, and I think sometimes it's absence makes the heart grow fonder. So like don't play it like every 3 episodes because I feel like they really beat it to death. That's probably also why I don't like Willie because he's always there and it's like you're never funny.
Super over
No,
Willie.
it's just
Yeah.
yelly.
They do him way too much.
Yeah, it's like try new stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, with all of Keenan's other voices.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Why not? They should have done What Up With That because Jason Sudeikis was on.
He did
could have
do-
done
yeah.
the Jumping
yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
I would have been okay. That's the one Keenan sketch I like. And when he was in The Lonely Island and he did, what's her name? Reba. He did that Reba song. He dressed up as Reba McEntire.
Oh my god.
Hanging like my nuts. That's one of the lines. It's great. Anyways, rambling. The final sketch, kind of not funny, but it's a very kind of sweet way to end. It had everybody just singing, jamming out to some weird 70s rock music, Henrietta or whatever.
That's right.
It kind of reminded me of older SNL, like in the 70s and stuff. They would do kind of more musical things and serious, like the Albert Brooks would do digital shorts that were serious and stuff. So I thought it was kind of, even though it wasn't funny, it was a nice ending
It's like
for a
charming.
finale.
Yeah.
Yeah, and fun to see everyone really in costume. Like that was kind of silly and funny in its own way, like
Yeah.
not laugh out loud funny, but kind of enjoyable in its own. I had that song stuck in my head for a while, like Hot Summertime. And yeah, it was just kind of nice and made me happy to have this great episode, have it wrapped up in a bow, and look forward to next season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fitting for Fred too, because I mean the guy plays like 10 million instruments,
Yeah.
and so like
Yeah.
it's cool to get to see him do something like that, and anything with the whole cast at the end of the season, it's just like that's fun.
Yeah.
Like,
It feels.
It's like total warm
Emotions,
fuzzy.
huh?
I wish they had
Emotions.
almost done a better smooth pan across all of them because I was trying to
yeah.
squint
Yeah, I didn't
and
see-
recognize who some
Yeah.
people were because great job to the hair and makeup team. But
yeah.
yeah, I thought
Yeah.
that all
I didn't
the
even
wigs
see
and
Eddie.
stuff
I mean, Andy there, but he was there.
Also,
He was
where
down
was
the front.
Leslie
Yeah.
Jones this whole episode?
Oh, I don't know.
Does anyone
her at
know?
the end.
She okay?
She was there at the end, like on
oh, she
stage.
was.
Yeah. She was on stage at the end, but no,
Like
she wasn't in the
for the
sketches.
song or for okay.
Carrie too was there from Portlandia,
Yes.
jamming out. It was pretty good. Overall, I think it was a nice finale. Because it's the finale, though, let's kind of predict this next season. Who do you guys think isn't coming back?
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Ooh, who goes first, guys?
Who isn't coming back?
I think Keenan. I would love Keenan to
You
not
think
come
so?
back.
I mean, Amy made a good point earlier. Like, if they were thinking that he was gonna go, they would probably put him in more tonight, wouldn't they?
They tend to do that, but also like if they're not sure, you don't know. But like yeah, a lot of times with a cast member when they've been there for a long time, they'll kind of toss in some of their old characters or whatever. So I was like, I would love to see all of his characters tonight because
Yeah.
that could be a good omen for next year.
I don't know. I
But
feel like they used him a lot this season because
Yeah.
it's the end.
Maybe, yeah.
I just don't know. It doesn't make sense to me to have him on another season because he's been on so long, and I feel like what they're really needing right now is new, strong male comedians on their show. I feel like the women are such powerhouses in this current cast, but I feel like sometimes the men fall short. And they use Kenan so often, kind of like
Yeah.
this comedy crutch. But all of us have gotten bored of his sort of routine because it's kind of it's always the same. I feel
Yeah.
like there are certain actors on the show who are really diverse in what they do, and I feel like I would like to see some new.
Or even like give John some more airtime. I feel
Yeah.
like from watching his stuff, it's like I love to see him more. I like that they're slowly getting Kyle Mooney to do different things too. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
I think John is gonna be a cast member next season because I think he's a featured one now.
Yeah.
Think he'll be a
I think
cast
it will.
member.
Yeah, just like utilizing the people that they do have better. Keenan hopefully finally going away. Please. And then also, it's crazy. I mean, if you think about this season too, how many times did we say a male cast member is a MVP?
never.
Hardly ever.
Yeah,
and we
it's
could be
like-
biased
I said
because
Jay
we
Farrell.
are women.
I said Jay Farrell a few times.
Oh,
okay?
yeah, you did.
Jay,
actually. That's right.
Jay killed it this season,
Yeah.
but I feel like they could use him more. There are tons of times where I would have rather have seen Jay do a million of his
Yeah.
amazing impressions than some of the other guys.
Yeah.
I think it's
Or
also-
just use his
yeah.
voices, you know? Sorry.
Yeah.
Good.
I think it's hard too. I feel like, especially the tail end of this season has been so heavily focused on these guest actors who are coming in and doing impersonations that we've kind of lost. Like we haven't seen this year, and
Yeah.
how long?
Yeah.
I mean, she did a little bit today, but I remember was it like 3 weeks ago? We're like, oh shit, yeah,
We never really see her, though.
yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind her not coming back, but
Okay.
she's not. They're
It's
not going
either
to fire
they
her.
need
Yeah.
to
You know.
fire her or they need to really use her, like find
Yeah.
her voice
yeah.
and like use her. They even,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they found freaking Leslie's voice, and even though it's the same, kind of like Kenan, like they're using her. I guess I haven't seen Sashir's other stuff, so I don't know what her voice is, but I
And I
feel like
feel like
everyone
when-
is like, she's so funny, she's so funny. I'm like, well, they're just making her be this person in a
Yeah.
classroom, being like, that's weird.
Or
Yeah,
even
'cause
when
she's
she
always-
did her update thing, we were all like, that was weird.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
weird because she's always so comfortable and just like good on, like, I mean, which is I think a big difference between her and Leslie too, in that Leslie has such a strong voice and you've been able to hear it and see it and know what her thing is, but she's never comfortable. When
Yeah.
she's doing sketches, she'll like flub a line or she'll break or she'll just look confused or it's awkward. Like she never looks comfortable in the live stuff unless it's her being herself on update.
Right.
So I mean, if I have to choose one or the other, even though Sashir hasn't like really established her voice there yet, I'd rather watch her because she's still at least comfortable and like
Yeah.
looks
Yeah.
confident on stage.
It's just a bummer. Like Vanessa, Edie, Kate, they all have their things that they do really well, and I feel like they got the opportunity to do that. Everyone in the cast is obviously amazing, but I feel like there are people who are just getting used more, and I'm sure that if given the opportunity, Sashir could really pull something great off, but she has to have the right writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
Partner
also
and stuff.
her too. Like you have
Yeah.
to do the work. You know,
Totally.
that's why. Like I know Sarah Silverman when she was a cast member, it couldn't because none of the things that she wrote was ever making to air. So maybe she's not producing enough work. You know. So I don't want to blame the show on her, but like it's
true.
both.
Yeah,
It's a little
and
bit
there's
both.
so
She could
much
have a
that you
voice
don't-
that doesn't fit on the show. Like
Yeah.
Sarah Silverman's stand-up is amazing, but maybe SNL wasn't the place to showcase
Right.
her particular voice, and maybe not especially at that time. I feel like now she would probably submit stuff that's really more because everyone
Yeah.
loves Amy Schumer sketches and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Voice is more present on TV now, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
Lots of moving parts.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna see a lot of more political stuff when it starts up again because election.
Yay.
Yeah. Well, that's actually one thing to go like with like hiring like some more guys right now too. Me and my sister have talked about it in the past. SNL's gotten beaten a lot, like beaten up, saying like you need more diversity, you need more women, you need more this and that. Like they just need like white guys right now though too for political stuff. Like when you looked at the like Republican field and stuff, you're just like, oh, the show doesn't have enough white guys right now. So for a show that like hasn't done great with diversity, you're like, oh, actually no.
Yeah.
I think they need some of them right now too.
Real quick. Do you guys have an MVP
Of
this
the episode?
Yeah.
I'm going to give it to Kyle Mooney for his amazing line that we mentioned before.
Terrible hair though this episode.
I'm gonna
Sorry.
give it to Fred Armisen because he was just such a badass and like pulled this great episode off that we really wanted. So
I think I'm going with Fred too, just because.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Fred,
Woohoo.
Fred and
Got it
Kyle.
going.
How about you?
Got it going.
I guess Fred. Yeah. Ditto. Yeah. No stars. Nobody outshone him.
No.
But we'll see you guys next year. Until then though, where can we find you guys?
You can find me at Amy Maestri.
You can find me at Katie Wilbert.
You can find me at Kim Crossman.
You can find me at Hollyweirdo on Twitter and Instagram, or Kelly McInerney with 3 L's at Snapchat, or just watch Silicon Valley after this.
Nice.
Bye! See you next year!
Bye!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Bye later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.